There, welcome back to more fixing and breaking things. This afternoon I'll be replacing my kitchen sink faucet. Here's what it looks like underneath. I've got these hoses to it. And they go up like that. And here's the new one. I guess it comes with a soap dispenser, which I probably won't be using. And one thing I've noticed that it doesn't have the hoses onto the end of it. It's got a sort of a detachable spout. So I guess this is my second attempt at this, because when I first had it out, I realized that this doesn't connect. What I had to do is buy a couple extensions like this. You notice that they've got different sized ends. There's the sink side and there's your valve side. So I think what I'll do is switch off the water and then get started. Alright, let's see. This is my cold water down here. I just turn these off clockwise like that. And this one attached to my hot water for my dishwasher. It's right here, so it's the same thing. I'm just going to, before I disconnect these, I'm just going to make sure I don't have any pressure at the sink by turning the faucet on, and then I'll use my, I guess it's a 5/8 wrench to take that off. I did put a tray underneath these because I'm going to get water leaking out, and I do have a cloth back there. Okay, faucet's on, nothing's dripping out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start loosening these. I might have to, we'll see how this works. I might have to get something in here to hold to keep this from turning. I might have something for that. So let's see how that goes. Here, I don't know if you can see it, but I got the first one off. So now I'm gonna go with this next one with my, let's see, my goofy looking pipe wrench here. Let's see if I can, where's it going? There we go. Let's see if this works. It looks kind of silly, but it's a pain trying to work under the sink. There we go. Yeah, these come off pretty easily. Not like rusted car stuff. If you're wondering what the noise is, I'm doing a load of dishes. And it just comes off like that. There we go. Oh, a lot of water out of that one. And let's see if there's a, okay. Looks like a little rubber washer there. Okay, now the next part is up under here. Let's see if we can take a look at this. Let's see if I can get in here. There. There's the bottom of the sink. It has these kind of nuts, I guess. Let's see if I can. There we go. Get a good view. Like that. There. Now these just come off like this. I've already had these off because this thing was loose. I had to put these washers underneath it. I'm not sure what the purpose of this board here is. I think the previous owner of my house who put the kitchen in did this. So anyways, this just comes off like that. Ouch. Hands in my face. This one the same thing. There we go. And now everything should just lift right out. All right, there's the old faucet out. Now I'm just going to clean this up and put the new faucet in. There, I got the this piece and this piece off of the end here. You see that? So now I guess the first step is to just snap the two bolts here into this bottom plate. And then I think, well, before I put this in here, that I'm just going to feed these back through here like this. That. Oops, you can't see a thing. Anyways, I'm going to just feed it through like that. I think that's in there. And this goes on like that. And I should probably put, oops, one mistake. I need to put this part in the sink. And following step 2, I need to put this in the sink and then put this stuff on, because if you look at the hole, this piece here won't fit. So I need to drag this back across here and take this thing off. That. This ring. Now, just move this over. Like that. Then I can take this part and this just goes into here. Like that. And I'm going to go underneath and put these two bits on. All right. Now, let's see if we can finish up step 2 by putting this ring on here. Like that. And not fun working under a sink. There we go. And now, here, this just see if I can not cross thread this. There we go. I think I got it. Okay, before I tighten that up too much, I think I'm going to make sure everything's straight. And then put these other two bits on. For these ones, I'm going to use this washer because this hole is going to be too big for these guys. I don't know if you want to watch me do this or if I should just struggle on my own, but anyways, let's see if I can get this done. Now, I guess step 7 is to take this end here and connect it onto, let's see if you can see that. There we go, that's a little better. Take this and connect it onto this one in the middle here, like that. But I think before I do that, I don't want to kink that, to pull that out. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is connect my new braided lines onto these two up here. I hope these are long enough because I noticed that, well, the braided lines I got should be 30 inches, but I noticed it's a bit of a distance from my valves up to the ends. So I'm going to connect that and see how that looks. But yeah, these should thread on pretty easily, but I won't quite tighten them up yet. There, I got my lines installed. I think the first thing I'm going to do is just tighten these up and then put water pressure on the faucet to make sure that none of these are leaking. And just snug these ones up a little bit because everything's just finger tight now. So let's start on this bottom one. I don't know if you want to, I need to record all this, but I'll just snug these ones up. This here top one, I guess it's the bottom one takes a 5/8 wrench. The bottom one I have to use my crescent wrench on, and it'd be a 23 millimeter. A little square at the top. I'm not sure what that is, but I'll be finding out pretty quick. All right, there. I got these tightened up. I guess the top one here is takes a 12 millimeter for the flats, and then, like I said, this is a 23, so I was able to hold this in place and get these tightened. I've got the water turned on now. Nothing seems to be leaking, so that's good. I must have fixed it right. I guess the next thing I need to do is to take, let's see, where did it go? This one here. Maybe I'll just loop it up behind here because I gotta connect it onto this other thing, which is right here. And then let's see if I can get at this from another angle. Yeah, that needs to go on there, like, oh yeah, it doesn't go like that. I guess this goes on like that, almost on, and then I've got this clip here that then kind of holds it in place. Not sure which way, but anyways, I'm going to see if I can get that figured out, and then I can put then I should be done down here. Oops. There, I got that connected, or that line connected with the little clip on it. I don't see, and then I've got the sink running to flush it out. Nothing seems to be leaking under here. Everything looks dry. Let's see. I guess the next thing I need to do is there's a weight that I attached to here to pull the hose down. Once I put that on, Then I can put the faucet on. I also need to make sure this rubber washer goes on there too, so I'm just going to shut this off. There, the head just goes on finger tight, no tools. Nothing seems to be leaking from here. And nothing seems to be leaking from my hoses down here, so I'm just going to go ahead and attach the return weight on this. And I think I am done. Okay, good and dry. Oops. There, one thing to remember is to make sure you tighten this nut here. Take the plastic off, tighten it up, because when we started using this and twisting it around, that came loose, and then we had water everywhere. So other than that, it seems to work pretty good. It's kind of a bit plasticky, but I think I like the old one better, but didn't have this detachable end or the fancy settings.